Hey, what's up, everybody? Pastor Matt here. Today we're looking at the Gospel Transformation Study Bible by our friends at Crossway. This Bible has been provided for me for my review, and I'm very excited that they did so. Of course, it's in the ESV, the English Standard Version. That's what Crossway always publishes. And this is the hardback edition. I'm not sure whatever else they may cloak this Bible in terms of leather or true tone. I don't know. But this is the edition they gave me to review, and I'm very glad they did. It's an excellent Bible. This is a study Bible, and like most study Bibles, of course, it has text, and it has notes, and it has book introductions. So there's that. Now, what's the difference between this and the ESV Study Bible, which is probably the most well-known study Bible done by Crossway? Well, I think part of the answer to that is given in the clue in the back of the book in this recommendation given by Tim Keller. It says the ESV Gospel Transformation Study Bible is a unique resource blending biblical, systematic, and practical theological insights to help us understand what the Bible teaches about grace and personal change. Now, while the ESV Study Bible, the other one, the big one, the one that you probably know better, is both biblical and systematic in its commentary and notes, it doesn't necessarily focus on practical theological insights, nor does it focus primarily on personal change. So that's why it's called the Gospel Transformation Study Bible. And I guess in some ways it might be similar, at least in its goal, with Zondervan's longtime bestseller, the Life Application Study Bible. Okay, only this one is going to have some theological nuance to it that, in my view, is an improvement. Okay, so again, let's look at what it has, and then I'm going to show you something at the beginning of the book that I think is helpful. Okay, so every book is going to have an introductory section on author and date, a basic summary of that particular book, and especially how the gospel is declared in that book. So, for instance, the gospel in Jeremiah. And then there's going to be a basic outline of the contents of that book. Followed, of course, by the text, a reference suite for comparing other verses, and your theological notes focusing on personal change and life transformation, especially as it's revealed to us in the gospel. That's going to be the primary theme of your notes. All right, now here's a trick. Trick of the trade, folks. Trick of the trade. How do you know which study Bibles are the best? Well, in my opinion, here's what you do, and this is what I do every single time as I go to the beginning few sections where the contributors are listed, because I want to know who's writing these notes. All right, well, in this case, we have an awesome team. Brian Chappell is the general editor. He's a senior pastor of Grace Presbyterian Church and also from Covenant Theological Seminary. He was one of my preaching professors, so that's good. Dane Ortland is the VP at Crossway, also an Edwards scholar, so that's also good. And as I begin to just look through those who contributed, I see names that I recognize everywhere. Mark Futato was my Old Testament professor for my doctoral degree. Michael Horton of White Horse Inn and Modern Reformation magazine. He's been to our church to preach. Mike Glodo is one of my dear personal friends. He's in our presbytery. He's one of my mentors. He did some of the notes. Here's Glodo again. Here's Brian Chappell again. Here is, Dan Doriani is one of the great scholars in our denomination. Here's Burke Parsons, who was the associate pastor of R.C. Sproul and is now, I believe, the senior pastor at St. Andrews. Here's Justin Holcomb, another one of my professors at RTS. And so when I look at the guys who contributed, this is a world-class team of pastors and theologians. I will admit to you that they do tend to have a Reformed or Calvinistic foundation. Most of these guys are from RTS, Reformed Theological Seminary, or Covenant Theological Seminary, which is a seminary of the PCA, or Westminster Theological Seminary. On the teams that I play on, these guys are awesome. Okay, these are the captains of the kind of teams that I like to play on, and so I'm definitely inclined to read the kind of stuff that they put forth. Now, if you're from a completely different perspective theologically, maybe you're Lutheran or Anglican, or I don't know, maybe then some of these guys are going to be lesser known. But you can, if you trust me, and I'm not saying you should, but if you do, then I'm going to say that these are some of the best guys in the field. Okay. Now at the back, you also get some theological articles. You get an article on biblical theology, an article on the covenants, the gospel in the Old Testament, the gospel in the New Testament, the relationship of the Old and the New Testaments, and then you have a large topical index. It's not a complete concordance, but it is a large enough and sufficient topical index. Oh, there is a concordance too. Look at this. Okay, there you go. Again, it's not going to be exhaustive every word in the Bible, but it's a sufficient concordance for doing your research. Okay? So, this is slightly less than the ESV Study Bible in terms of its content, and it is more focused on personal transformation and life change, especially as the gospel presents itself through the various books of the Old and the New Testament, written by some of the best scholars and pastors, professors and theologians from the Reformed tradition. In my view, as a pastor, of course I'm an EPC, I'm a Presbyterian pastor, this is great. And I would be happy to give it to any new member, any visitor, any elder or deacon or staff person. If I found them reading this study Bible, I would be deeply pleased, because I'm sure that the stuff that they would be getting is reliable content. Okay, so that's my review. Thank you, Crossway, for sending this to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link to this Bible that you can get on Amazon.com. It's going to be in the description of this video, so if you're interested in this, follow that link, just click it, it'll take you right to Amazon, boom, you're there, and you can get this and it'll show up in your mailbox in a couple of days. All right, thanks again. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to this video channel. That'd be cool. Don't have to, though. There's a lot of better stuff on the internet than mine. I'm just one little voice out there trying to serve Jesus. Okay, love you. Bye.